All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. All right, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth through the Holy Spirit. And as always, we want to give a special peace and blessings, salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, we out here another week to prophesy against this sinful kingdom known as America. All right, the daughter of Babylon the Great. Okay, and to let you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know who you are according to the scriptures. All right, so we basically out here to do our job, man, as prophets, as seers, as men of the Lord. Okay, and yesterday was the 4th of July, which is the so-called day that America gained its independence, right? The scriptures speak about your mother shall be sore, or your mother, what is that, Jeremiah 51? Because America came out of Great Britain, right? So look that up real quick. Your mother shall be sore. I forgot how it goes. It's in Jeremiah though. And we can start with that because, like I said, America came out of Great Britain. So yesterday was the 4th of July. Was it 1776?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, July 4th, 1776, where they say America gained its independence, right? So if you got it pulled up, bring that out. Because ultimately we know that this place is going to be destroyed. So it doesn't matter year after year that this place is uplifted and you see flags everywhere and people letting off fireworks. At the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is going to let off the ultimate firework, all right? Which is going to be the thermonuclear missiles.
Jeremiah 50:12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed.
Yep.
Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
Yeah, the mother that bare you is speaking about Great Britain. And America came out of Great Britain. Okay? So everything about the American flag, everything about Babylon, everything about what this place stands for is ultimately going to be confounded and destroyed. You got something? If you don't, I thought you told me something. So we know that it's America's destruction is already written. Okay? So it's nothing anybody can do to save this place. I was online yesterday and I seen a lot of God bless America comments. All right? And they've made that kind of like a famous saying, you know, but the Most High said that this is his main target concerning the destruction. And he's going to use the means to do it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 32, verse 9. And I will also vex the hearts of many people, and I shall bring your destruction among the nations into the countries which thou hast not known. Yea, I will make many people amazed at thee, and their king shall be horribly afraid of thee, when I shall brandish my sword before them, and they shall tremble at every moment.
Yep.
Every man for his own life in the day thy fall. For thus saith Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, the sword of the king of Babylon shall fall upon thee.
Shalom, brothers.
Shalom, brother. God bless you, my shy boy. Shalom, brother.
Hey, y'all bros could just jump in. You know what I'm saying?
All right, now where will
whatever he was reading.
Yeah,
you
this
can
is
go to
Micah
what
2
you
and
was
10.
getting.
You know, getting back into the milk, right? Because Jake really ain't got no business observing none of this bullshit, man. When you get into Leviticus 23, it tells you what the high holy days of the Lord are. we're not to observe any other thing, because those are the ways of the heathen. This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. And what's the main thing that Jake suffers from the pollution-wise in his mind? Okay? It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. And you look at, because I was on social media all day today. Well, not all day, but, and what was the main thing that was popping up? Jake getting crazy at these fireworks shows, man. Having small riots, getting in big fights. And then they had, Carnival Cruise Lines. They just changed their rules pretty much overnight, man. Because y'all were turning up on the cruise ships.
Yeah, Salaki. Y'all see that rapper 4Extra got his hand blew off yesterday.
And he was saying before he did
he
it,
gonna blow niggas
hey,
up.
I'm gonna blow somebody's shit up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this in somebody's house. And blew his hand off.
Yeah,
and
that's good. They use
and he known for like getting in fights like squabbles and all this shit and fighting.
Yeah.
Like he ain't known for like shooting people, known for like beating
squabbles,
people up in jail and all this shit. Now that's over for him.
And they was using them to promote that shit to Jake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That fighting spirit and shit. Whooping niggas ass. They was just, man, it's crazy because I did a lesson on them. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, this dude gonna get Jake. He too proud. You know what I'm saying? The man he's got his hand blown.
Get Salak, somebody get Jeremiah 4:22 real quick. Is that where it says they are wise to do evil, but to do good? Yeah, get that real quick. Go ahead, real quick. You got some. Whatever y'all brothers got, just let me know. Then bring it out.
Check Jeremiah 4:22.
Yeah, Baba Kushah.
This is Ecclesiastes, chapter 39, verse 28. It reads, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him.
You can speak on it.
Fire and hail and famine and death and all these created for vengeance. So basically, man, the Lord put the spirit on him to hold that fire in his hand, and it
blew his hand off.
Cast judgment on him.
And that's judgment, because there was millions of Jake yesterday letting off fireworks. Go ahead, you got that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. It says, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children.
And the main thing that Jake was concerned with yesterday was eating and drinking. And getting fresh. That's what they pretty much was concerned with. And there was so much swine cooked, because they had them fucking ribs, So it was swine, and they were basically married, They were making mirth. Go ahead.
It says, they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge.
Right, wise to do evil. They know how to do everything that's contrary to the Lord. And the things that please the Lord is vexing to Jake. Like when we say you're not supposed to get tattoos, you're not supposed to commit adultery, you're supposed to observe these days, you're not supposed to eat these foods. That's vexing. Niggas was happy that Red Lobster got a new CEO, and now he's got they talking about his crab boils and shit, man. They happy about that, So they're wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Meaning to acknowledge the ways of the Lord. Go ahead.
The Exodus chapter 32, verse 6. That's verse 5. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar for it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is the feast to Yahweh. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings that brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. So that's what niggas were doing all the way back then to the time of Moses, man. Riding up to play, man. Riding up to enjoy, make mirth, and celebrate these false idols, man. Now, that niggas love that shit, man. But only the Lord got to destroy the ass, man. Because only the Lord not dealing with that playful, joyful, mirthful spirit, in wickedness, man. The Lord not dealing with that shit, man.
Go ahead, brother. Whatever you got.
Out of precept. It's the book of Jeremiah 10:2, and it reads, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Yeah, because these so-called holidays are the ways of the heathen. We're supposed to keep the holy days, the Passover, the Day of Atonement. We're supposed to acknowledge the Sabbath, the Feast of Tabernacles, etc. You know? Brothers, name some more. Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, Purim.
All the new moon.
All the new moons.
The new moons. Yeah, if you ask Jake what Purim is, they not gonna know. Not these Jakes in the streets, they don't know.
It's Book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I hate and despise your feast days.
Yep.
It will not smell in your solemn assembly.
Yeah, the Lord hates it. It's a smoke in his nose. It's a smoke in his nostrils, man. And he's not pleased with 2/3 of his people. Go ahead.
Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Yeah, and that's why the judgment of the 2/3 is gonna be a nasty judgment. You know, they're gonna die like the scriptures say in Jeremiah. They're gonna die of grievous deaths all over again.
It say,
Go ahead.
it say, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows.
Yep.
This is Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not
Somebody
the
get that in
oppressor.
Jeremiah too. They shall die of grievous deaths. Get that too. Go ahead, Yash.
I got you.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. That's like learning the ways of the heathen, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jake is easy to just follow whatever trend there is online, man. But when it comes to the ways of the Heavenly Father, you know, and he claims that he hates this place. You actually love it because it allows you to do all that wickedness. You know, no accountability.
This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 14.
Okay.
It says, O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved.
Yeah, how do you do that? You gotta acknowledge the ways of the Lord. The scriptures say that you're washed by the word. Go ahead.
Like it says, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 14 again, it says, O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee?
Yeah, so you're supposed to be washed so you can be saved.
Yeah.
You got to cleanse your ways. You got to acknowledge who you are. You have to acknowledge the Lord, his name. You know, you got to basically flush your system out and start over. You know, if you wanted to elaborate on that, brother.
Because Esau Edom, his whole thing is to keep you in the house to feasting, man.
Yep.
You know, that's what's wrong with you. You're too busy fucking partying, man. You know, that's what's gonna get you caught out there, man. You know, I got this precept real quick. This Ecclesiastes 7:2. It says it is better to be in the house of mourning.
Yep.
That's what the men of the Lord in, man. Okay, we're in the house of mourning, man. Okay, that's what's gonna keep you in the right spirit to get delivered from this fucking place, man. It says, then to go into the house of feasting. It says, it says, that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to heart. You see, the living is gonna lay that to heart, man. Okay, we see the ways that Jake is going in, man. You know, it shows why 2/3 of you niggas got to get put to death here, man.
Yep.
Okay, because you keep following the fucking ways of your oppressor. All right.
No, I was gonna say, because you said it's better to be in the house of mourning. You gotta look at our forefathers of time past, like Job. What state was he in?
Yeah.
Before he got his level up.
Yeah.
He was in the mourning
Mourning,
state.
yeah.
Joseph. Joseph was in fucking prison.
Yeah.
And then we gotta think the story of Joseph. He got sold by his brothers.
Yeah.
And then the dude lied on him, and then he was in jail. And then when he got sentenced to like 13 years in jail, but in that time he was in jail, it was people in and out of that jail coming in, and some of them was getting put to death. Like they was in jail, and the king would be like, "Yo, bring what's his name and chop his head off."
Damn.
So
He's watching, he's seeing, that's crazy.
And I think coming in,
that's
when you come to realization of this truth, this is really not, because this is our punishment, man.
Yeah.
This is not a time of enjoying yourself. Yes, brothers do enjoy themselves,
Yeah.
but we talking about being slumber where you don't even know who you is.
Yeah.
Right.
ChatGPT said
he said, like we just said at camp, that the black Latinos and natives, they want status, but they're not in the knowing.
Right.
How AI is telling us that black Latinos and natives are not in the knowing,
That mean
but
they
they
know.
rather want status, man.
Yeah.
That sounds brutish as hell that you want status, but you don't even know why you came here, why you here. America gonna stand forever. No kingdom ever lasts forever.
Right. Con.
You know? You want that Jeremiah 16?
Yeah, I was going to elaborate because the brother read that it's better to be in the house of mourning than to go into the house of feasting. The house of mourning keeps you in a state of humility. You know, when you feasting all the time, you want to fulfill the lust of the flesh. And fulfilling the lust of the flesh, ultimately that brings forth sin. And we know that the scriptures say that the wages of sin is death. So you have to constantly remind yourself to be in a state of humility, you know? Because the flesh, like the scriptures also tell us, the flesh is always bucking up against the spirit. Sometimes your spirit will tell you not to do some shit, but your flesh be in the background like, yeah, go do it. You know?
That's the condition of the battle.
Yeah, the flesh is ultimately Satan, man. So sometimes you gotta listen to the spirit, man.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
This is that Jeremiah 16:4.
And then let this brother read after. I don't know if he still has something.
Okay, it says, they shall die a grievous death.
Yep.
They shall not be.
Start up a little bit, like 2 or 1.
Go up. Start at 2.
Start at the top.
All right, okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, starting at the top. It says, the word of Yahweh Shemashai came also unto me, saying, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith Yahweh Shemashai concerning
Let's talk
us.
about, and this is talking about America right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't happened yet.
Right. Yeah.
This talking about America.
Right, and that go back to, like, this is not the time of being married, man. You know, even though brothers do, some of us brothers do. I mean, don't lose courage because you got a woman. But this is not the time to be married. It's really about prophesying the downfall of this place.
Yeah, it's your first wife, man.
Right. Come on. It says, for thus saith Yahweh Shemashai concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begot them in this land, they shall die a grievous death. They shall not be lamented.
Somebody look up the word grievous. Go ahead.
Neither shall they be buried.
It said they shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried. So like
no funerals.
Yeah, but even before the funeral, when somebody died, usually it's that oh shit, what's name died, and everybody get together at whoever house, and everybody all sad, and everybody drinking and sad, crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? They lamented. Ain't gonna be none of that. Motherfucker, they dead. That's just gonna be that.
Right.
It ain't gonna be time for that.
Food for the birds and the fowls.
Yeah, come. It says, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth.
They gonna be as dung upon the face of the earth. When you see dog shit, you don't say, it's somebody dog shit. You walk past it.
Yeah, you walk past it.
Right.
This morning I ain't trying to be funny, but this morning I walked past the dog shit. I was like, oh, I kept walking. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the Lord said they shall be like that. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth.
So that's telling us that there's going to be no way out. The sword, the famine, because in the Apocrypha, I believe, what does it say? Those that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to have some people with money that's going to, the famine might not hit them like that because they got substance. So they think they good. But you can't escape that sword, though. Just because you got bunkers and shit and you got food stocked up, okay. But when the sword comes, you're not going to be able to escape that. And in Amos, it tells us the day of the Lord shall be as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went in a house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So it ain't no escaping. Go ahead.
Right. Salaki, because of what you just said, just to get it real quick. 2 Ezra 16, verse 33, the virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms, the women shall mourn having no husbands, and their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Right? So that goes back to what he said, there's no way out. It's either you getting this one or you getting that one. Right? But back to Jeremiah 16, verse 5, it says, for thus saith Yahweh Shemashai, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament, nor be moaned, them, for I have taken away my peace from this people.
Yeah, so it's telling you don't feel sorry for them people. Don't enter
back
into
from
a house of mourning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He took his peace away for them. But see, we got that Psalms 91 hedge. So it ain't gonna be happening to us to say only with thy eyes shall thou see the reward of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? So don't go to the house of mourning with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's because you know what type of person that was.
Right. For I have taken away my peace from this people, saith Yahweh Shema Shai, even loving kindness and mercies. Both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried, neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them.
So there's nothing wrong with us telling you you're gonna die unless you don't repent.
Right, come on, man.
Because a lot of people will hear that and say it's, oh y'all hate, y'all teaching hate. No, if you don't get right, you're gonna die.
Right.
The Lord said it
Yeah.
through many prophets. You know.
This is real quick.
Well, let me read this real quick. This is grievous. Basically, so it says hardship, suffering, pain, bodily affliction. All right, afflict, burden, oppress, to make heavy, to cause grief, meaning mental pain and sorrow.
Mental pain.
All right,
Come on,
and
man.
that was pretty much the point.
When you go to 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter, look at how that mother was watching all 7 of her sons. And it said that she had man courage, where she was taming. She was taming.
It's the same
She
thing.
was taming her emotions and feelings. Right? Imagine the grief that she was going through watching all 7 of her sons get tortured, man.
Yeah.
Your 7 sons getting tortured, man. Let alone the sons is watching each one of them get tortured. And then knowing that they're next, even though they was happy to die for the Lord, but you gotta imagine the mental thought that they was really having, because you know we all human, man. You know?
See, yeah, but they was more. They knew they was Israelites. They knew like it wasn't like our people in the world got like a fear of death, a real fear. They had like a real understanding of death at that time, like so that's why they knew they was going to the spirit world and shit. Our people, like even if they do believe in the spirit world, they don't be 100%. Like we 100% sure and confident. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing.
But when that storm comes upon them, they ain't gonna know what to do. They ain't gonna have hope, man. They don't even know what's gonna happen after they die. So when that storm comes upon them, they'll lose their mind. They'll freak out. They'll panic. They'll try to run away. Some of them try to off themselves beforehand.
Right. And it tells us they still not even gonna repent.
Right.
After all these things that's going on, it says they still not gonna repent.
Yeah.
So a nigga has to be soaked in wickedness, man. Like he's saturated in that shit.
Right. Second 5 says that there should be few faith on the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The book of Micah 2 and 10, and it reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction."
Yeah, that's why our people are into these holidays, because that's what they believe in. They were taught that shit from a child. Like Santa Claus. Niggas stop believing in that. But niggas don't stop celebrating Christmas.
Right, that's a fact.
You'll know Santa Claus ain't real, but you'll still celebrate Christmas. And then niggas will make excuses and say it's for the kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids.
Don't blame the kids.
And you putting that sin on your children too.
Yeah.
Because if you saying it's for the kids, you grooming them into sin.
Right.
You know?
And you got that old ass tree in your basement. You don't never throw it away. You bring that shit up the basement steps every year.
Right.
And then you leave it up like 3 months after.
And you don't even know what it means.
They do.
There's a reason why it's the evergreen tree. It's it's supposed to represent a phallus, man. You know the balls on the tree.
Yep.
All that goes back to Nimrod, Semiramis,
Yep.
Tammuz. You know.
Right. It's like Deuteronomy 12 and 9. The Lord said that we didn't even come in, even though that's back then, you know, we didn't even come into the land until Moses went to the spirit world. And this right now, just like what the brother read in Micah 2 and 10, this is not our rest. Our rest is our land. You know, the mother that is free above all lands on the earth, the Lord hallowed that land. Right? Niggas is not free, bro. I don't care how fresh we look, how much money you got. You could be a millionaire. You just a millionaire slave. Right?
And you see what happened to what's the name? The boxer, the nigga that boxed. Yeah, he just fought Jake Paul. you know, you fight Jake Paul, that's like fighting Floyd Mayweather. You about to get the bag. He came over from Mexico. They put it all on TV, pay-per-view that he was coming here. They let him across the border. He fought Jake Paul. When he time to go, ICE agents grabbed the motherfucker up and throw him in top off. You think he got his money? I don't think so. I don't fucking think so.
He's supposed to get like $2 million for that. And then they have him, like you said, he got him locked up, chained up, send him in the car, bro.
Well, I seen Adrian.
Now you better hope they don't fucking put him in the cargo plane and drop him in the river and shit.
I seen Adrian Bronner on IG yesterday. That nigga was making box mac and cheese.
Box mac and cheese.
You know?
$1 million.
And Adrian Bronner, he done. He cooked.
Damn.
He look all fucked up and shit. He had some box mac and cheese. Nigga had some canned greens. He you know, now he eating like us.
Lord's bringing forth for humbling, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
That happens to a lot of these Jake millionaires, man. They don't know how to manage it.
Shit, there's rumors that Floyd Mayweather is losing his financial status.
Yeah.
You know?
What I was about to say.
Can't read these, figure it out.
Well, what they said, and they
Right.
said when you go to ChatGPT, but of course I know brothers know, you know, America is falling the same way Rome did.
Yep.
And they really fell because of money problems, politics, and of course the economics, right? The economy basically, right? Food is about to rise. Food stamps, that big beautiful bill is ugly for Jake, but it's a big beautiful bill. And for those of the faith, we happy.
Yeah.
We want that shit to go. Even though some of us brothers might need it when we doing that, we happy that this shit is kicking rocks.
And we need our people to be humble, man.
Yeah.
They need to be humble, man. It's gonna hurt, but I'd rather our people get humbled, man, so they can see what the fuck is going on.
You gotta go through it.
Damn gluttony anyway, man.
Yeah. Oh, when Yahweh Shai was talking about, and I let the brother go, when he's talking about not one stone will be left, when he's talking about the temple, really prophesying about Vespasian and Titus. Jake, all these prophecies that's about to come, y'all gonna wish y'all coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yep.
Your ass is gonna be hurt. Just like when the sea biscuit came out and they thought it was gonna be a shortage of tissue. People was getting knocked out over tissue, bro. They didn't even know what to do, man.
Anything you saw say they wrong with you.
And the Black Lives Matter, you had Jake on Bailey bringing it to the Muslim store just to get weave and lace fronts, man.
That's crazy, bro.
Y'all see that shit in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah, with the garbage.
Yeah, they
that garbage?
They
Yeah, I
stopped
seen that.
delivering
Strike,
garbage
strike.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
They stopped delivering
And that
garbage.
shit-
The whole fucking city, Philadelphia, big as hell.
You
They
gotta
stopped
bring it to-
Tuesday. They stopped bringing it. They stopped bringing the trucks. It's garbage everywhere in 2 days.
Yo, that's the spirit. I was just telling him we went to Philadelphia. The air stank out there. So I
Yeah,
can imagine the garbage.
Yeah,
We just said that today.
back then, before they even had roads or bathrooms, the whole roads used to smell like shit, you know, because you just had manure just out, you know, just shit everywhere, man.
I got precept.
And go ahead, bro.
This 2nd Esdras 9-7. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works. It says, and by faith, whereby ye have believed. So you true believers, man, yo, you're gonna escape this fucking place from your faith, man.
Yep.
All right. It says, shall be preserved from the sad perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. It says, then shall there be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. Talking about you 2/3, man. All right? You abuse the Lord's ways, man. It says, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments.
And they about to be in a pitiful case when that fucking bill kick in.
Oh, that's what it's about to go. Yeah, yo, look. That's a fact.
That bill kick in.
That's why I brought this up.
It ain't. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Verse 9, verse 10. Oh, you got it.
And they're gonna limit how long you could be on Section 8 too.
Yeah.
Oh, they
This is
said
what
they
it's on.
said 2 years. Yeah.
Yep. And that's in the bill.
There's
Yo.
been motherfuckers on Section 8 since before any of us was born.
And it's crazy. Yo, no, listen, it's crazy because the old nigga at my job, he fucking 68 years old. He still be cooking on the line and shit. And I was like, yo, they about to cut off that Social Security and all that shit, bro. He like, oh, that's just for the new people. They gonna do that to me. I'm like,
That's because he has faith in the system.
Yeah. He like, oh, they can't do that. See, that's what's wrong with yo. You see them do it to everybody else.
Yeah.
But it tells them, oh, they can't do that. They've been doing it.
Right.
They're doing
And
it.
they didn't go deport us.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh yeah.
They deported
Yeah.
They deported the Jamaicans.
Yeah, right. They're not gonna do that to us.
Trump said if you got okay, no, go ahead.
Trump said they're supposed to be just criminals, man. He's on record. He said, "Oh, we're just going after the criminals."
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so like, you're sending it now to
Nah.
American
Yeah,
criminals
yeah.
now. Now you're trying to say, oh, well, we gotta get rid of those American criminals. We gotta send them away.
Those that hitting people with baseball bats and he targeting Jake. Yeah, man.
That's why you can't misuse the prophets.
Yeah.
Because it says that we're gonna be able to escape by our works.
Right.
That's why we come out here. You wanna say
Right.
something?
I got something. Yeah, it's the book of Amos 6:1, and it reads, "Woe to them that are at ease in Zion, and trust in the mountain of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came."
Yep. And our people are at ease.
Yeah.
They take fully advantage of the system. When you see Israelite women in the grocery store with food stamps, what you see in the carts? Sugar. Bullshit. Because they said they were supposed to limit what you could buy with food stamps, but they just gonna cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Right.
They just gonna cut it out.
I used to work at the grocery store back in Georgia, bro, and you would see like on the first, and they pile it up. They got crab legs, they got chocolate, they got all this.
It don't be no water in the cart, bro.
No.
No water.
Yeah, no water. It'd be hella sodas, it'd be unhealthy. By the end of the month, it's oodles and
No
noodles.
water, bro.
It's damn, that's how they don't be, man.
Yo, I used to work at the grocery store. I seen that shit.
Yo, and behind the scenes,
Like,
you gotta
damn, you
know,
ain't getting
just
no
like
water?
what I said earlier, it's the same thing like Rome.
Keep
All of this is going to
Fluoridated,
benefit the rich.
Man.
When they cancel the food stamps and Medicaid, it's going to benefit the rich. Because really, the rich people, they're helping us poor folks just by having those food stamps. But when they cut that, that's helping the rich.
Yeah.
And Rome did that too. Everything they did was to help the rich, right? And Jake don't know that. You know, Jake, the number one consumers is poor folks. Us, man. J's, Nikes, Jordans. Niggas is going flying. Guess what? That shit about to cancel. You ain't going to Jamaica no more. Because now you got to save up, man. You got some of us working full time and your check don't even, it's not adding up, man.
Math ain't mathing.
Now Trump, they giving out children's stamps. Why you think they doing that? Because they about to hurry up. They try to make you feel good. Then they gonna cut that shit off, just like the stimulant check.
Or they might make you get the MOTB to continue.
Yeah. But see, no, listen, in that bill, they cutting after they started school lunch.
Right?
Yeah.
The school lunch, that shit cut.
Word.
Yeah,
That shit.
Well, they were saying,
this September ain't no goddamn school lunch.
they were saying too, like after
That's
7 years old, you're basically cut off from kids are cut off from getting the benefits. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they really going it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I got a precept real quick. The book of Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. Like Jake, they went head over heels, especially Eve, anyway. No, they went head over heels and trusted into the devil, man. Now look at them, man. They're about to be fucked up, and they don't even realize they're about to be fucked up.
They voted for this motherfucker and everything, man. Right. A lot of Jake voted for this man.
Yeah, Latinos for Trump.
Yeah.
Fucking niggas for Trump.
And that's another trap. Them making you believe that your vote counts.
They don't.
Your
They're selected.
Right. I was gonna say Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was a former president. He made a quote that said, "Presidents are selected, not elected."
Right.
Electrical college.
You know.
And they're selected by the elites. Like Daniel Rothschild, he said he don't care who they put in office, who controls the money really controls the empire.
Yeah.
America is the daughter of Britain, man. Britain is the mother of this place. And Jake, you don't know that. Literally do not even know what the hell was going on, man. And it goes back into being Hellenized and in the Greek captivity, you're Americanized, man. You know? This is not the norm. You think everything is good. The elites is Proverbs 4:16, where they don't get no rest until they making somebody fall, man. So while we doing us, you think the elites is enjoying give a damn about the 4th of July?
They working.
They coming up with a scheme, audible, man. They doing Omaha like Peyton Manning, man.
Yeah. And it says in Psalms 82 that they're confederate against us.
I'll bring this out real quick. This is Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Damn.
But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
The niggas won't pray. But they'll go to the DSS building. They won't pray though.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know?
And this is what ChatGPT says. It says Egypt represents captivity, celebrating American independence, while we remain oppressed is spiritual confusion.
Right. Wait, what
I
verse
got
you just
it, I
reading?
got it.
Isaiah?
Yeah, Isaiah 31.
Okay.
You got a prophet tell it's Israelite.
Well, read the one in 30 too.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I got
Hang
you.
on.
You want me to start at verse 1?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Right? It says that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Right, this is how you know that this is the shadow of death, man. Jake is trusting in it. Like when you go to, you know, how people was trusting in the Lord by saying, if I go in Peter's shadow, that I'll be healed. But Jake think that they can be covered under Esau. Man.
That's why they vote. That's why they vote.
17.
Right.
It says our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. We have watched for a nation that could not
Save us.
Right.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't vote, they'll get mad at you.
Yeah.
You a part of, see, you the reason why it's fucked up. You a part of the Nigga, they'll blame you for that shit.
Why they got 16 jump shots and shit? And
Yeah.
18 boosters and they fucking body.
You got every booster this year. You voted. You be at all the community meetings trying to fix America, man.
Right. And they never fix the potholes in the street.
Right, what you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I remember when LL did an interview. LL was one of the main ones. He's like, man, if you're not voting, you have no reason to complain about what's going on. If you're not voting, like
That sounds
it's
like
just
They trust in this place.
they trust in Edomite.
Right.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, what the Lord saying in Deuteronomy 15, 17, you're not supposed to put anybody as king that's not of your brother.
Yeah.
You know?
And when the CV in 2020, when the CV hit, if you didn't take the syrup, your family members look down on you.
Yup. Yeah.
Nah, he can't come over my house. He ain't get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or if you cough and you didn't have it, everybody looking at you funny because you didn't get the syrup.
Right.
But we was looking at y'all motherfuckers funny.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Right. Yo, that's the same example.
25, you still got people wearing masks.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's the same example in the Greek captivity. Right. If you didn't cleave to the Greek ways, you looked weird. You had some men that wanted to really look like a Greek that they'll look for their foreskin and sew it right back on.
Wow.
There's a website. It's called the Jewish History,
That's
and they
fucking
tell you
crazy.
that Jews, Israelites in the Greek captivity, that they was looking for their foreskin and sewing it back. They were, or they would get somebody else's foreskin and they would sew it on their joint, man.
But niggas would do that though.
Real,
Man.
literally, bro.
Like if a nigga would go to the director's couch and get his ass played with, he'll do that too. What you just said.
That's
You know, think about the Jake in Hollywood. They do the freakiest shit.
ladies.
Did he?
You know?
I assume you saw the video. When the guy acquitted, even niggas outside the court in the courtroom.
Yeah, nigga was pouring baby oil on himself. So if you hear some shit that Jake did that you be like, how, what? They did that? Yeah, niggas would do that.
I got a precept.
They're both wicked to the wicked. Hold on.
Yeah.
Salakia. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. It says, Then said Yahweh
That nigga was like-
unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight,
Yeah.
and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, Whether shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, such as are deaf to deaf, such as for the sword to the sword, such as for the famine to the famine, and such as to the captivity, man. Right? Because our people just can't get right. Right? The Lord, you know, it was so wicked. They said, right? Even Moses couldn't save him. Or
Yeah, they would. Well, during the time of Moses, they were seeing all types of miracles.
Right.
Hell, the waters
just
parted.
came out.
Yeah, the waters parted, and then when they got through to the wilderness, niggas was complaining they wanted to go back
They
because
saw the chariot every day.
Yeah.
Every day they saw the chariot. And
and they,
still,
and those Israelites during that time they were seeing miracles constantly
Right.
through Moses and Aaron. So it was like right in front of them, and they still was complaining.
Right. I think it's in Psalms 106 or 107.
We spoke about that. Their clothes didn't
diminish.
yeah, their shoes didn't rent.
They say
I think Psalms one of the two, it said that in the NLT, it said that Israel wasn't impressed by the miracles of the Lord, man. It wasn't impressed on the plagues that the Lord sent to Egypt and the things that he did when they was in the wilderness. They said they wasn't impressed, man. Wow. Oh yeah, he did that. And but every time when affliction came, they would cry to the Lord though.
Yep.
And that's Jake now, man.
Yep.
The things that the Lord is doing, they're not okay. But as soon as all hell break loose now, Lord, please help me. Well, what do every Jake say as soon as they get shot or something? God.
Yep.
Or when they on their deathbed and they sick, God help me.
Or a nigga get locked up, he'll say, Lord, if you let me out, I won't do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he'll get out and go back to being a nigga.
Same
2
shit.
months later.
Or they go to jail, they try to find God, man. They either Muslim, Christian, they come back out a new person, but then go back to the same vomit, man.
Hey, that's Judges chapter 10, verse 4.
They're hypocrites, man.
Yeah, very hypocritical.
Okay. Right.
Whatever y'all got.
This is Judges chapter 10, verse 14, Slakia. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen.
Start up a verse.
This is Job, Slakia. Judges chapter 10, verse 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and serve other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation.
And the Lord is going to put our people in that position again, where He's going to tell you that.
Yep.
You know
that Jesus you believe in. See if his little rainbow eyes come down here and say.
Yep. That Cesare Borgia that your auntie got on the fridge.
Yep.
You know that you believe in.
Yeah.
Or in Ephraim's house with Cesare all on the candles.
Yeah.
You know the beads around the neck, the rosaries and all of that. You know, or niggas walking around, going to the mosque to go worship Allah and all of that. Go cry into them niggas, man.
Kiss the same spot that everybody put their lips and their hands on.
Hey, brothers was just talking about before brothers started camp that Jake, they be worshiping Beyonce.
Yeah. That just came out, a new church, like how they say in the name of the Lord, now they say in her name. We pray.
Oh, that's the Queen of Heaven.
Yeah.
Diana.
Yeah, so now they worshiping Beyonce.
Yeah. It's like when it's like the Catholics when they worship Mary.
Yeah.
Because we went to the Fatima Shrine years ago, and they have all the so-called saints and shit out there, but it's a big ass dome building, and you walk up and it's all the fake saints. They all look like Edomites on the side, leading up to the dome building, and Mary's on top of the building.
And ain't none of them
That's
got
the
a
Queen
beard.
of Heaven.
None of the so-called saints had a beard.
Yeah. The scriptures don't tell us to worship Mary.
Yeah.
You know, that was just Yahweh Shai's mother. She was
that's it.
She was, of course, an important biblical figure.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's not to be worshipped.
Right.
Right.
You just acknowledge her as who she is, the Lord's mother.
Right. We're not supposed to even worship the creation. We're supposed to worship the Creator.
He said, rather blessed are those who do the will of my Father.
Yeah.
Right. When they tried to do that. You know,
yeah.
The lady tried to come and say, "Oh, blessed are the paps that suck." He's like, "Well, rather bless, those who keep my Father's word."
Go ahead, real quick.
Out of precept. The book of Psalms 96 and 4 through 5, and it reads, "For the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods, for all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Lord made the heavens."
Right. Well, Wisdom of Solomon in the 14th chapter, it says all those things wasn't here in the beginning, and later on they're not going to be here in the end. All those other gods was just really for the other nations and for the 2/3, right? Because that the Lord, man, I'm telling you, man, he's amazing in everything that he do. He set that up just to sift out you niggas and to have the nations just to believe in something, man. So that when he come, you gonna actually know that he was the one that was setting this shit up, right? Because in all captivities, you remember when Daniel, when the king was really believing in this damn dragon, and then Daniel started laughing, he started putting ashes on the ground, and they left, and he said, "Don't you see the footprints right there?" Right? Because the people underneath was eating the damn food. You know, all you other idols, you false gods, is a laugh to the Lord, man. It's a joke, man. The joke is on you.
In the kingdom, all nations are gonna worship Yahweh Shemel
Come
Shai.
on, man. Right.
So that proves that he gonna wipe these fake ass gods out.
Yeah.
And then he gonna be like, he gonna show you who the true power is.
I got something real quick.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 28. For they are the nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they are wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock has sold them, and the Lord has shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is the vine of Sodom, and the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, and clusters are bitter. Their wine is poison, is the poison of dragons, and cruel venom of snakes. Is not this laid up in store with me, and sealed up among my treasures? To me belong vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand. That the things that shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord shall judge his people and repent himself for his servants. When he see that their power is gone, there is none shut up or left. And they shall say, where are their gods, their rock in whom they trust?
So the Lord is flexing. He's letting you know that none of that shit he created, but none of it exists. You know? And hey, before we came into this truth, we were a part of that. We would believe in certain gods, and you basically believe what your parents brought you up in.
Right.
And that's why church was always ass, man.
Literally.
You go there, you falling asleep, you're getting in trouble because you falling asleep. Your grandmother giving you them whack-ass peppermints, and you just in there, and the only thing they did was when you walk in that bitch, everybody singing and dancing, they chilling.
For the most part.
They read a couple Psalms, Proverbs. This nigga give a weak-ass sermon, and then you go in the basement, you eat pork, and then you leave.
Or they got praise dancing.
And all you see is big-ass hats.
You gotta get that money though. You gotta get that money.
Yeah, you gotta get the money. Yeah, big-ass hats.
Every pastor stuttered too.
And everybody bald-headed too. Bald-headed. Niggas bald-headed.
No facial hair.
Yeah, nothing. Just off.
And then when everybody leave, it was a good sermon. Okay, what verse did you learn?
Yeah.
That God is good and God is great.
Niggas read Psalms 23. That's it.
If the church said you couldn't eat pork no more, every church would fucking close down. Every single one of them.
Right.
Well, they justify it. You gonna say something?
No, they say because you just talking about pork. They push that you just pray over it. The Lord clean it when you pray over it. They don't say that.
Which is complete insanity.
Well, they try to run to the dream. And that's wrong too.
Right.
So that's not an outlet.
Yeah, I got a little testimony. It's this pastor I know. He like I remember when I was doing my little church rush joint. So I was doing my church blitzes before it got
church blitz.
Anyways, like we had like a little debate and shit. So anyways, he had to start doing some studying. It was like, oh shit, this real motherfucker right. So like he had been looking for me. So like we had talked and shit. We was like in his office. We was talking. He was like, yo, I know we Hebrew Israelites, but he tried to put the shit in his he tried to put it in his congregation and say he was like he had told me he was like
he tried to tell them.
Yeah, his congregation like, yo, he was like, yo, we the Israelites. They was cool. Everybody was cool, this and that. He was like, yeah, we can't celebrate these holidays no more. It was spiritual because he said, when he told me, I don't even think he knew how spiritual it was because he was like, as soon as he told me they couldn't celebrate Easter and Christmas and shit like that no more, he said 2/3 of his church walked out. Oh. I was like, oh, shit.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. I had a precept.
That show you that Jake is comfortable. They comfortable living in a delusion, right? What was it in when we left Egypt? Jake was reminiscing over a damn onion in Egypt, or the garlic, the parsley, man. You know, man, we were having all this food, but we're eating the same thing over and over again. You know, brother, they too comfortable, man. Comfortable in this place. So that's why when you start changing and bringing in the truth, nah, man. That's Isaiah 30:10, man. Keep teaching the smooth thing, don't teach it right.
Don't tell us the truth.
Go ahead.
Land backing off what you just said with 2/3 walked up the church. It's the book of Zechariah 13:8, and it reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
Keep going.
And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is my God.
Right. They say, and that's heavy, because it says that they will say his name. And everybody always say that, GMS, we always trying to bring the name into the as part of a new doctrine. You go to Acts the 5th chapter. That's part of the doctrine.
He said, why you bring this doctrine? That's what they're doing.
Did somebody get that? You tried to fill Jerusalem with your doctrine?
Yeah, right.
And if you had something, bro, I know you said something. Bring it out.
Book about Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 28. They are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they are overpast the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless. If they prosper and in the right of the needy, do they not judge? And that's a nigga for you, man. They overpass the deeds of even Esau, man. Now Esau's the devil. He destroyed the whole world. But niggas are more wicked than Esau. Now, you see these Edomites in the neighborhoods, they ain't causing a ruckus or anything like that. They acting nice to each other and playing nice anyway to the neighbors and shit. But even with Dig will steal from them goddamn neighbors.
When you move into the neighborhood, the property value goes down.
You still got that in Zechariah 13.
4th of July, man, in the hood, it sounds like a fucking war zone.
So read it from the top again.
I got the Acts 5 too.
Yeah, you start at 28.
You want Zechariah 13:8?
Yeah, read it over.
Okay. The book of Zechariah 13:8, and it reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
Yeah, see, you can't just give out the bad part. You gotta give them the hope too.
Okay, but the third shall be left therein.
Yeah, the third gonna be left therein. They gonna get delivered. But go ahead, but through that deliverance, what did it say?
And I will bring the third part through the fire.
That's triple. That's the Sirach, the 2nd chapter. He gonna bring us through the fire. It's gonna be rough on us too. So when we going through them rough times, we can't get down on ourselves. You gotta.
Salaki. I was gonna say is we gonna go through 2 fires.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go through the suffering and the pain and the downfall of America and Jacob's trouble. That's a fire.
Yeah, because he said he was gonna try us as gold is tried in the fire. You know what I'm saying?
The famines, the pestilences.
Yeah, all that's happening.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna feel none of that
Right.
nuclear fire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We ain't gonna feel that.
So the first fire is gonna be like a duck, a hedge, like, oh shit, we gotta get through this shit.
Yeah.
And then the missiles gonna come. So we had to get delivered through that fire too.
Right. And like when you even continue on that, when you go to Sirach 2:10, it says people when they was in trouble, was they confounded when they was calling the name of the Lord. You know, Daniel, he was praying to the Lord when he was in the lion's den. Let alone seeing the lion's mouth shut and they hungry. Of course you're gonna call on the Lord. Azariah, Hananiah, Mishael, they in the furnace. They didn't just sit there, what we gonna do? They started praying, man. And they even told the king, they said, man, our Lord gonna deliver us. And even if he don't, we still ain't gonna serve you. That's being through the spirit cocky for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man.
Hey, that's spiritual. Just one pass right there.
You want it more?
No.
That's why you want it?
I got that in Acts 5.
Hold on, he got it right here.
Yeah, that was spiritual. What just happened right there? Some Eve walked by, and on her shirt it said, "God got me."
God.
Yeah.
He got her because he said 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians 5:11. It say somebody get that real quick. I think it's 2 Corinthians 5:11. But it might be
Which God she talking about?
Okay.
I got that one drink for the book of Daniel. Yeah, I got Acts 2.
This is, I got her. You got it, bro?
Ain't nothing like
Nah,
that.
It's not second. I think the first.
Right.
Forgetting sometimes.
Yeah, I do. I'm guilty of that myself.
Going there for the terror of the Lord.
Wait.
What you got?
Can I bring this one up?
Yeah, go ahead. Get that.
This is Daniel. I want to get this real quick because of what he just said. This is Daniel chapter 3 in verse 16. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. He will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
That's the same spirit we gotta have.
Yeah. Going into that, Salaki, the Revelation, the 13th chapter, verse 15, when they push that new world and that mark, you're going to be put to death. Not everybody, but it's going to be men that are going to be chosen to be put to death. You got to think the mindset you got to have to really say, hell no, man. Yeah.
The Lord said he has 7,000 men, which is representation of completion, that have not bowed to need the Baal. And you can't be in the spirit of worshiping the image of the beast. Because if you worship the image of the beast, you're going to take his mark.
That's a fact.
It goes hand in hand.
It's like that image of the beast is not speakable in here either.
Right.
It's gonna take faith not to. And if you don't got no faith, whoever don't got faith gonna take it. They gonna take it. Whoever don't got faith, when it ain't no food, when kids crying, man,
I feel like if it's probably a 90% chance if you took the jab, you gonna get to see
That's
it.
the spirit. I was about to just say that. You know, if you didn't have enough faith to not to withhold from taking the jabs,
because this nigga came up with a concoction in like a couple months.
Yeah.
He was like, here, it's ready.
Yeah. Mix it up.
That was the precursor.
Yo, really, 100% of the people who got vaccinated gonna take that.
Hot and ready.
I think gonna take it. But it's people who didn't take it and they gonna take that. What's the name? Because it's gonna be the famine, bro. It's gonna be famine. It's gonna be
a lot of people
people getting pointed guns at. Talking about they gonna chop your head off. Bro, they gonna be like, man.
And I believe it's gonna come with a financial
money on it.
Yeah, that's just me speaking as a man.
It's bribery.
$4,000 a month.
Yeah, I believe it's gonna come with some, because that's gonna be easier to make. Because Jake, you know.
You remember what he said in the Greek captivity? The king will always bribe him and say, "You'll be a friend of the king, and you'll be celebrated." And he was doing that to the 7 sons. But in First Maccabees, he said he wanted everybody to be one people. And even some of the Israelites consented to their ways, because he said if nobody followed this decree, you're going to be put to death. So you couldn't even circumcise your son on the 8th day. They're dead. You couldn't follow the Shabbat. You're dead. You know, so that same spirit is going to happen when this beast push that, man. Because they're going to look at you as an enemy. Bill Gates said that if you don't take his mRNA, where they're going to push, he said you are not considered a citizen in the United States.
Hey, what the brother Zion said, he said he believes there's going to be money on those ships. Oh yeah, that's where the UBI, the Universal Basic Income, comes into play. You know, they're gonna put that digital currency on those
because money is not real in this society anyway. Credit it's like credit. That shit's not real, bro.
Right.
And this money that this Federal Reserve note is not backed by anything. It's fake. If you got 20 G's in the bank, shit, your money out there floating, being distributed in different places. So he can just say, yeah, it's money on there, and you gonna be able to use it.
Right. But you can't even go get your money. You can't even go out and just say, I want to withdraw 20. They're gonna say, you gotta give us a couple days. We gotta write.
We on a low level. If I withdraw 500 out the ATM, the nigga make you wait the next day and say you used too much money.
Right. And a lot of you brothers that's in jail, y'all got it the worst, because you know a lot of y'all, you get free checkups. And you can take free shots in jail. So imagine all of y'all gonna be forced to take that charagma while you in prison, man. Ain't no way around it. And it's gonna be easy for you to be put to death because you can't even leave, you can't go nowhere, man.
They already seen it. They got it was in the news like 6 months ago. They said they trying to work something out because they had the that shit called what's the COs? They had the
that strike.
Yeah, the strike. It's a shortage of COs, and they had the strike. They was talking about the people who had like 2 years and lower. No matter what you did, 2 years and lower, they if they in plan with something, then they could go home early and shit. Motherfuckers gonna take that.
Which that could be used.
It's like that's twofold. No, because you end up seeing they're already sealed off. They're already written off. Now those jails are empty. Wait for the next batch of people about to go in there, man. You know, for not taking that seat, man.
And it was
you're a slave of a slave.
it was a Marine. It was a Marine. I don't know if y'all remember. Years ago.
Oh, yeah, from the LA camp,
That came.
right?
He came up to the brothers in the LA camp, and he had like five or six chips in him.
Whoa. They put one in his mouth.
Yeah. This was over 10 years ago, I think.
It's a lady, I think a Jake, or she was a heathen. She said, because she was in the military, and she was buying her stuff with her hand, and she said, yeah. And then her husband didn't even believe her. But guess what? Eventually, he would have to get one too. You know, that MOTB is that's the end game right there.
Yeah, that's it.
The technology is already out there.
Yeah, right.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as concerning the token, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. You know, and that's what you're saying. That faith, you gotta have that's gotta be like on high, man. You know what I'm saying? At this point, if you're not gathering it, you're gonna be left off, man. The people they're not gonna have faith in what they do. They're gonna be right in that line. They're waiting in that line to see him, man.
Because you know what? When we get in trouble, what we gonna do, brothers?
Call
the
it
name
out.
of the Lord.
Right. So imagine just a regular person come. They're like, they're like, this happened. I'm like, yo, you gotta call the neighborhood. Nigga, like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
They ain't gonna wanna
say
hear
it.
that.
They're like, yo, they ain't got the faith to believe that.
They don't know
Then you gotta
They
think
ain't
about,
seen nothing.
and then you got Jake that say law.
Hebrews 10 and 6.
Then you
Like you
then
said,
you
they go
got
into the what's it called? They go get the government
They're like,
assistance.
I'm trying to find the nuclear bunker.
Right.
Hey, it says missiles coming right now.
Right.
Bro, I'm gonna stay here calling the neighbor. I'm not ready to find a building with a nuclear
Now
bunker.
imagine those that's saying law. What you gonna count on in that day? The law? You know? Right.
They ain't
What
gonna
you
have
gonna count on?
10 and 6.
Whether you're in the prison jumpsuit, they ain't gonna have no freaking.
Yeah, right.
They gonna sleep.
They even said in those times, a lot of people, they're going to be hiding their damn garments, right? Because especially if you was teaching falsely, people going to be looking for you. And some of them going to change their apparel, right? So that they're not seen, right?
Let him read that about Kushar real quick. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
The reward is salvation. That's our reward. That's the reward we looking for.
It's impossible to please him. Impossible means it can't be done.
Yeah.
So like the brother just read, the land shall be barren of faith. The majority of those people who basically don't have faith, they gonna die.
Read verse 1, please.
You know?
Hey, and also the scriptures say, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth. Hebrews 10 and
1.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 1. It reads, For the law,
No, 11 and 1.
11 and 1.
11 and 1.
Okay, no. Then you guys one too. And then I believe you got something too. Yeah, we're gonna read these last 4. Or if whoever got something, we're gonna just read all of them. We gotta get out of here.
Let me get this real quick. Bear with me a second about the shot.
Well, I can quote it, but they might say I'm adding to the book.
11 and 1? Okay, I got it. I'm there already.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hebrews 11 and 1, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Now, real quick, because, you know, like you said, a lot of people, they're not going to call on the name of the Lord because Jake can't comprehend something that they can't see and trying to call on something that they can't see and they haven't seen and physically think. They can see what they can trust, and they know Esau has been giving them this, has been giving them that. And that's why they continue to put their trust, because they can't believe in faith that they can't see.
They don't believe that the name of the Lord is a strong tower.
Yeah, exactly.
And a nigga always needs something tangible.
Right.
You know,
we made a calf.
Yeah.
Right? It says the evidence of things not seen. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
And the scriptures tell us the things that are seen are temporal.
Yeah,
The things that are not seen are what? Eternal.
right.
They're greater. The things that we can't see are greater than things
Yeah.
that we can see.
Right, that's a fact. It says, by faith, Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death and was not found.
And Salakia, because Cain knew what to do. He just chose to do his own thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He just chose not to.
Came with them plants.
Right.
Right.
You know?
And you got to think, you talking about a sacrifice to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You want to sacrifice the best of the best.
Here's some
You know?
tomatoes, Lord.
Yeah, he
Right.
ain't come with no meat.
What
Got some
am I doing with
cucumbers and
tomatoes?
tomatoes.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, man.
It came with some asparagus.
Right. It says,
Hey, that's how you know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hey, the woolly hit. Hey, because he want that smoke. He want that barbecue smell. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know that
Zephaniah
smell,
1.
man.
Zephaniah 1, he said he's preparing the guests for that sacrifice.
Right.
Right? It says, because the Most High had translated him, for before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is.
And we trying to be in the spirit of Enoch. When we beamed up in the chariots, Lord willing, we're those men, we're going to be translated.
Come on.
Elijah and Elisha,
Uh-huh.
right? It says the chariot parted them both, and Elijah went up into heaven in the whirlwind.
Come on.
And then Elisha cried, what? My father, the chariot of Israel. So he witnessed, beam me up, Scotty. He seen it.
Yeah.
And he knew what it was that,
Right.
because he said it, the chariot of Israel.
Right.
Y'all brothers been seeing the chariots lately. Y'all been sending videos. That's that translation, man.
And guess what? That's what he asked for though.
A double portion. of
He
the
asked for
spirit.
a double portion of his spirit. You know what I'm saying? So he had super faith.
And he knew he was about to be taken.
Come on.
That's why he asked them that. He said, "Yo, I'm about to dip. What you need?"
Yeah, and that's the spirit. That's
You know?
the spirit of the elect. The elect know how they gonna get delivered, man. Right? By that same shirt you see on this brother's shirt, man. Right? It says, he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. When you go to Second Chronicles, the 15th chapter, verse 13, those that don't seek the Lord shall be put to death. And when you look for seek, look up that word. I think it's Yarash, and it means to investigate, man. You got to investigate Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, why he did this and why he do that, right? Just so a real quick precept since we in that chapter. This is Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12. It says, take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief, right? With not believing in the Lord, that's evil, man.
Yep.
Right? Like the one brother said that, told me and Yarmayan that we was Yahushai thumpers or gospel thumpers because we always going into Yahushai.
I'll be that.
Well, yeah, right. Well, what else we gonna be, man?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
He that don't believe is damned already.
Right.
I was already told you.
Right. And you got an evil heart against the Lord. It says,
And whoever that person was, they gonna pay for that.
yeah. No, I
The
mean,
Lord, every idle word,
through the Spirit, he did.
every idle word. You know,
I got something
The
real
Lord
quick.
just figured that
He
man's face
said,
by accident.
let me get this real quick. You said you got to investigate, right?
Yeah.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 23. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glory in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am the Lord which exercise living kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things, saith the Lord, I delight.
so we could boast in that. We could boast in being Yahushai thumpers, if that's what you want to call it. I remember, 15, 16 years ago when we first came in, they used to say we was on the corner on fucking 17th and Pine.
Yeah.
And niggas was stopping like, what the fuck y'all got on a dress?
Yeah, that shit crazy.
We had on garments and shit. Niggas was talking shit. He was getting it the worst. You know, especially on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a heavy time of scoffing, man.
Yeah.
And then you go back into, you know, you leave camp, you go, yo, you was on Pine with a dress on?
Yo, yeah.
You know, you was teaching the Bible with a dress?
I ain't talking to
You know?
everybody know you're super right.
Niggas didn't have no understanding.
Every idle
Yeah,
word.
in that
Yeah.
time, man, they gonna look for they gonna be looking for y'all, man. They gonna be looking for the word.
Right.
I think they might have told, because he worked down the street, so they was getting to his job and shit. You know, that was when we first came in, scoffing was crazy.
Right.
You know?
Imagine in the ancient world, man, the time of Yahweh before that, the prophets was catching the same hell that brothers catching on this side.
Yeah.
You know? Just going back to that Hebrews 3:12, take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power. Dropping down to 18, it says, to whom swear that he that should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not. So we see that they should not enter in because of unbelief, right? So those that don't believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, you're not going to be delivered in that chariot, man. You're not going to be delivered in that chariot, let alone you're not going to be covered and protected in Jacob's trouble, man. Right? Brothers might be eating some honeydew delicious bread or unleavened bread while you niggas is scavenging and looking for food. Or in the trash bin trying to eat eat some food that somebody just threw away, man.
They're gonna be like Denzel in the beginning of what was that
Book of
movie?
Eli.
Yeah, that nigga shot a cat. Niggas gonna be hunting cats. And they went off on that too, because he was righteous in that movie. But Esau put that wicked ass scene in there where he shot the cat and ate it.
Yeah.
Here it is. He know the scriptures.
Oh, you talking about
But he's
the Book of
shooting
Eli?
Yeah, Book of Eli. But he's shooting the cat. Come on, man.
But the Lord
Right,
looked out
you
for
can
him
remember the
every
Bible.
other way.
Yeah.
He looked
You
out
remember the
for him.
whole Bible.
Yeah.
But he had to eat it.
And the shit was in Braille.
Yeah.
So he had a heavy understanding. But
Right.
that's the elite throwing that shit in there.
Yeah,
Being in charge.
And just how you said the Bible was Braille, that show you that only a certain few can read it. The elect can only read it.
And that
when the
fucking
dude got it,
Edomite,
he couldn't even.
yeah, he was fighting for it.
Yeah.
And then when his wicked ass got it, it did him no justice.
But his girl, he was like, cause she was blind. He said, "Can you read it?" And she touched it and smiled, and then said she can't even
Shit
understand.
Yep.
Come on, she was through the spirit. She was an elect lady.
Walk by faith, not by sight. Go ahead, bro. You said you had, and then y'all two, and then we out of here.
Good, read Matthew 25. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
And we in this time right now, where we're the ones that symbolically we're being wise. We got the oil, we got our lamps. The Lord gave us the understanding, and we're doing what He told us to do. We not settled on our leaves. We didn't find out we was Israelites and just hiding under a rock. We a city on a hill. Go ahead. That was it. Go ahead. Oh, and we're not hiding our talents in the natural, right? We bringing forth the understanding to our people,
This is
to the
Revelation.
elect. Because I don't really care if nobody stops and listens today.
That's right.
This is for the elect. You know? It'll be good if brothers came up and listened and repented. But ultimately, shit, man, we doing this because we fear the Lord.
Right.
You know?
It's a scary hour, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Things that's happening in this world, you want to be taking heed. What he said in Sirach 5 and 7, make no tarry.
Yeah.
Turn to the Lord. And you want to do it daily, right?
To the prudent man foreseeth the day
Yeah,
and
man.
and hideth himself.
Right. And through the spirit, you see the danger coming. You know? Because before things really hit the fan, things have to take its course. The president's got to change things around, right? Leaders got to change, right? Things have to be said, right? But it's going to affect a lot of you, Jake, man, especially you niggas that's in the hood. You rich celebrities, y'all going to catch that shit too, man.
Everybody.
This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world.
And it's going to be centered around the microchip.
Yep.
The hour of temptation is not just the chip, but it's going to be centered around it. You know?
Things to get you to take it.
Yeah.
To try them that dwell upon the earth.
Because if you can't buy, sell with a particular thing, right? How you everyday life is purchases. Everyday life is buying and selling. You know, so that's how we know what it is.
Right. When you go into that word keep, because brothers, we just brought that out of that camp. That's the spirit. The biblical usage for that word, it says to attend to carefully, take care of, to guard. A metaphor to keep one in a state in which he is, to observe or to reserve, to undergo something, right? So you got to be on guard, man. You know, this is the men of the Lord is the porters. We doorkeepers, man, for Yahweh Shai, man.
Keep them in a state of which he is. What we doing this for? We doing that for them.
Right? Yeah, that's a fact. And what
the works that brothers do, that's for the next man.
Yeah. And what did Elijah? So like Elijah said that he was jealous for the Lord. That's 1 Kings 19. The elect men is jealous for the Lord, man. And they only doing that for the elect, right?
Our job is to just do what we were told to do and commanded to do. And if the elect comes up and they hear, they're gonna hear it. You know.
And the scripture says it's gonna be left of a city. It's gonna be left 10 men.
Yep.
Shit, it's 10 men right here. We don't need nobody else to stop.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Proverbs 18 and 10, and it reads, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe."
Yep. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And I'm pretty sure every brother here can give a testimony on when something happened that name either got you out of a situation, or rather you needed to get the job and you prayed to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, you got the job. I remember one time, shit, we got pulled over. We called on the name of the Lord. You came back to the car. I'm gonna give you a break. Something like that. That's a testimony.
Yep.
You know, shit. You ain't getting no ticket.
I had a testimony as well. I do security work, and this Edomite was just tempting me. I ended up putting hands on him. Put hands on him real good. He came back, police. I went right to the bathroom. Ran to the name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. They looked, they observed the situation and said, "Oh no, that's what we can do. That's self-defense."
When a man's ways pleases his somebody get that. When making his enemies be at peace with him. So the Lord sent the angel. The angel put the spirit on them cops to say you was good. You know? That's it, man. That's how the Lord works. You can't. Yeah, that's all it was.
This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh his enemies to be at peace with him.
Yeah. Right. So really it was nothing that the cops could do because the Lord didn't allow them to do nothing to you. You know? Right. That's why when people say, well, what if they hold you down and they make you get the chip? Nigga, the Lord wanted you to get the chip.
Yeah, right. You get destroyed.
The fuck?
Right.
And niggas who ask that question, stay away from niggas like that.
No, but you got to look at the times of old when they was forcing or not even forcing, they was telling Jake they had to eat swine's flesh or die or get tortured.
That's the same
They didn't
thing.
hold them down. They fucking stuffed it in their mouth. They say, yeah, you take this, eat this shit, or what's the name? Shishak, Meshach, and Abednego. They ain't force him to fucking dance.
Right.
They say, yo, dance, you gotta go in this, you gotta do this. And they, you know what I'm saying? They put the fear on them, and if they ain't take it, then go ahead, do that.
Right. No, the same thing happened to Eleazar. They try to, through the spirit, try to force him. But just like what you said, his enemies was at peace with him in the beginning. And they said, hey, look, man, yo, we'll get you food that you can't eat, but just act like you eating pork.
Yeah,
he said, no,
like
I can't do that, because then the people of my age and then the younger, and I'm trying to survive for another year, man, I'm almost at the age. And they got angry, and they tried to hold him down to force him to eat that unclean food, man.
Wow. You know we can't afford to have the doubt demon on us.
Yeah.
Well, what if? Well, what if? But what if this happened? What if that happened? That's a doubt demon.
Yeah.
You can't think like that, man. You have to be right or left. You know, don't fucking think. Well, you know, you got these scenarios in your head where you thinking if something, you know, have faith, man.
Yeah, just believe. Shit. 10 toes down. Man.
Yeah.
That's what it will come down to.
Yeah. Peter, he said, can I get on the water with you? And the Lord, hey, yeah, come on. And then, because he started seeing the wind and the water move, that man started sinking because of little faith. Don't get distracted on all the other shit, man. Focus. The Lord said, keep your eyes single, right? And that just mean looking at the street, keep it on one path, man. One path, man. And that's towards the prize, which is Yahweh Shai.
No gray areas, man.
Yeah. Yep.
No gray area. Keep your yay, your nay, your nay.
Right.
So with that, all right, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash.
All right, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth through the Holy Spirit. Peace and blessings and salutations to the elect. All right, Lord willing, you brothers will edify, the Aquaf edify, edification. And Lord willing, we'll see you next week. Death to America. Shalom.
Shalom.